Greg. You
Yeah.
one bell
And you
to
get-
introduce the show. The
Yeah.
other bell is for the victory bell, bro.
Yeah.
I got you again.
Let's talk loud and proud.
Bro, college football trash talk, we're here. Week 13, our student week 13, we're in week 11 of college football. And what an amazing week we had last week. We had some amazing games. I'm here with my main man, Greg Vaughn. What's up, Greg?
Good to see you, James, as always.
How's everything? How's the family? Family's good?
Yeah, big week. My Jathan, my boy, got after it. They won 43 to 13, I think it was.
Nice.
Yeah, big win for them to close out the regular season play, 7-3 record. We're going into this. We had a nice holiday, I should say, our bye week going into the playoffs, which is great. It gives our starting lineup some time to rest. So it's we're looking forward to it. We got big games in the district that we're waiting to conclude. We cannot get our seed and see where we're going to go in. And so we're on to the next season of sport.
So listen, bro, let's get into this right now because you're getting an ass whipping, and I'm loving it. I swear to you, every Saturday I look at the scoreboard, and it's me winning again. I want to jump into the first. We went head-to-head in 5 games last week.
Yes, we
and
did.
You know what? I really respected some of your picks, but you know what?
Don't lie to me.
You're right in the face because
all you want to do is have bragging rights every week.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
You know what? Tell somebody give me a new bell that what years up. I'm gonna get a blowhorn. I'm gonna get a blowhorn.
Listen, let's get into the first game, which we all thought may have been a different game.
Yeah.
Duke traveled to Miami, and let me just tell you, you drove Duke, which I don't know why. Maybe you might have hit your head or something. I don't know. You were dizzy. Yeah, you weren't breathing right. I don't know. But anyway, so Duke goes into Miami. You chose Duke. They got me, bro, 53-31. Cam Ward is up for the Heisman. I think he's maybe 1 or 2 could be in first. After this week, could be number 1. But anyway, bro, it was such a delight to see the
scoreboard. The truth of the matter is, this was a very close game in the beginning. All right, it was neck and neck. I mean, look, we're talking 21-17 Duke at half. All right, so It's not like it was a blowout. Second half,
you played 2 halves, right?
Yeah, you know
okay,
what?
1, 2.
We found out the true colors of who Miami was. They came out, showed a good resurgence. Found their game. Good on them.
So let me just give you one quick stat. 21-41, 400 yards, 5 TDs, Cam Ward, bro.
400 yards.
I mean, amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he's a Heisman candidate. Good for him. I mean, he went from, a wing T offense and went down to Miami, and now he's like airing it up. So, hey, good for him. Great transition. Great move.
Yeah. So let me ask the question. When you get into a ring with me, do you feel like at this moment in week 11, do you feel punch drunk, or do you feel
no? You know what? I'm like, there's high risk with big rewards, so that's kind of
yeah.
You know what? I can't agree with you on everything. We only found 5 games that I was like, all right, I'll just be the guy that's gonna the odd man out. I'm gonna sit this one. I'm gonna go with this one. I know you're a big Cam Ward fan, so it's kind of like, I'll wait for the other games to play in. So
and you were high on Duke. I get it. And rightly so.
I thought Malik Jefferson, he's a great quarterback, and I thought what they did the week before, I thought was good. I had high hopes for them to carry that momentum from that last week's win into this coming week against Miami. So there's always something to learn.
We talk every week about a lot of things, but the one thing we always talk about is turnovers. The quarterback from Duke had 3 INTs. You're going to play a game, and it's tough, and it's close. You start turning the ball over, you'll see the tide switch, and that's exactly what happened. I think they scored 36 points in the second half.
Yeah,
they really took over.
They unleashed the dog. That was good. I mean, it was a great high-powered offense, which you expect to see, and their defense stepped up and then shut Duke down. But hey, it is what it is. That's why they're in the top 5.
Yeah, okay. So let's move on to the next game. I'm going to save one of the games to the end because I have a lot to talk about on that one.
Okay.
But Minnesota went into Illinois, and you chose Illinois, which, fair
I love
enough,
you talking
close
about all the
game.
teams that I picked and I lost. All right,
That
that's
was a close game.
yes. I mean, 25-17 Minnesota, which we've always said is a coin toss as last week and the week before. Minnesota they play tough ball. They play Big Ten football when games are on the line. They know it's at stake. Illinois, I was a little bit concerned, but hey, you know what? I rolled the dice. They were at home. I would think that would have had the favor, but Minnesota came in like it was at home field advantage. It was like they were playing in front of their home base.
Well, look, here's the thing that happens. Look, I chose Minnesota only because I thought they were coming off something. And when they look, playing at Illinois, we all know it's a tough road.
Yeah.
But they found a way to win. This is the beautiful thing about what you and I do. I mean, sometimes you and I are having this banter, and we can honestly, flip a coin or whatever because, we're kind of on the fence or whatever. It's just that my football vision, my football, it's just there,
You have
bro.
no vision, James.
It's there.
You know what?
I'm
You have
kicking
nothing.
your
You're
ass.
old. You're
And it
sitting. You're
feels great.
Tennis balls.
Because yeah,
Yeah.
older, wiser, smarter, and all of them, bro.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes, every squirrel's bound to find a nut. So,
Yeah. All right. So 25-17, close game. They both scored some points in the fourth quarter. Minnesota scored 9.
Yeah.
Illinois scored 7. Like you said, I mean, at halftime it was 13-10, the Gophers.
Yeah.
And then they pulled it out. So another victory for the kid. 2-0 right now.
That's great.
Let's go to one that
I won.
that you won.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
There's very few here, but we're gonna find one.
Oh my God.
And the one that you did win, and you won by a landslide, was Ole Miss
In Arkansas.
and Arkansas, bro. I'm telling you, I think they finally woke up.
I wouldn't say they woke up. The thing is that Ole Miss has got the coaching staff. They got a great offense. Jackson Dart's an incredible quarterback. They got a good offensive receiver. They got specialty guys. Their defense is tough. And they went in and they played an incredible game against Arkansas, who's hot and cold. I mean, I saw them against LSU in person. That quarterback and the receivers, they can get a rhythm going on. Their defense can step up, but LSU just crushed them. So in that sense, knowing that Ole Miss at, where were they? They were at Arkansas. I'm not going to bet against the Rebels. I think they're a good squad. They're well coached, and they're on that bubble. This is a really important. Every game counts for them going forward. So
I mean, let me ask you a question. Let's be honest here. Right now, we're at week 11.
Yeah.
I mean, do you honestly believe that Ole Miss has any chance of getting to the playoffs?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of teams in the SEC that are 7-1, and LSU. I mean, they're on the bubble. I mean, they're on the lower tier. They have more chances of making the cut because I mean, their upcoming schedule against Bama, Florida, and OU is not.
Well, forget about OU. Forget about OU. OU's already turned into.
It's still playing OU.
Didn't OU cancel the season?
Did you get a memo from Kip? It's over. They clocked out.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we're just going to rest for next season.
Yeah, they need to get some better drafty, some high school incoming.
Yeah, I mean, look, I truly believe that this is the one thing that I always talk about, and I have an inkling that there may be a two-loss team that could be in the championship. Just because it's about when you start playing well, when everything starts to click. At the beginning of the season, we'll talk about this other game, Clemson, that was in control of their own destiny, and then they laid an egg.
Yeah,
But
good
it
one.
all depends on when you get hot. Injuries, we talked about injuries all the time. So if you stay relatively healthy and you start gelling at the right time, I'm telling you the two-loss team could win the national championship.
Man, I don't see that happening. I don't agree with that. I don't see, I mean, Bama, is still, they're in the hunt. They got their upcoming against LSU, which is a must win. They're only two-loss team that most likely, I mean, the percentage chance of Bama making it is pretty high.
Well, if they win out.
They got to win out. If they lose again next week, it's over,
Yeah.
But, like I said, I mean, Bama's on that 50% cut margin. I mean, they
Yeah.
got OU, and Auburn. And I think they got a better schedule going forward than a lot of the other SEC teams, like Texas got Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, and A&M, which is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is like 4 teams in contention because you got Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, A&M, beating LSU.
Well, we haven't discussed about A&M, and I watched the game, and I have a feeling about that.
Yeah.
Why don't we go? Let's finish out our my dream another week of winning. You picked
Oh, wait,
another
wait,
one.
wait. Let's make this even. So now you're up 2-1. Now, I did happen to be present at the SMU Pitt game, which is a great Atlantic Coast Conference matchup. Pittsburgh coming in very hot. I saw them play. They went up and coming in. Texas, SMU was too fast. They just took them. I took SMU at home at the Weber Stadium, and it was just awesome fireworks show. I mean, it was 35-3 in the first half. I mean, it was just a smoke show. And so, yeah, I mean,
Well, tell me, hey,
2-2. Boom.
tell me about some of the guys that you bumped into on the sidelines.
I met some great guys. Maybe you've heard of him. Tony Dorsett, the OG of the Dallas Cowboys, which was awesome. He was one of
played
my
in Pittsburgh.
And then I bumped into the Pony Express, Craig James and Eric Dickerson, but Craig was out with his family really quick. He had done his show. But this was a good matchup because they had history back. They were playing a reunion game almost. It's been that long, I think over 40 years since they played for like the national championship. So there was a lot at stake. I think Pittsburgh came in thinking they were going to be much more competitive. But I got to tell you, this is really, I mean, the dog at SMU is there. They're for real. I am not. They are going to get in this bubble somehow. They're on the edge at 13. But let me tell you,
So give me who they got the rest of the season. Let's go over that real quick. Who they got?
SMU. Let's see who they got. They got Boston College, and they're at Virginia and Cal coming to Dallas. So Boston College, you can never count out, right? Who's that? Brian
O'Brien.
Yeah, O'Brien. Yeah. So great head coach. He's been with the New England Patriots. He went down at Houston Texans, and he found his way back to college. But then Virginia, that's a no game. So they got it. 2 out of 3 is pretty tough because Cal. You remember when we played Miami? We went back and forth, and you were telling me that because we were back at the event in Atlanta, and they made it a game, and we were counting like the Bears going to beat Miami. So that's going to be pretty tough, but because they play hard. So SMU, I just think they're too fast. I mean, that running back, the receivers, the quarterback, he's a true freshman. I don't know.
So the way that the plan's going to work, of course, we know the Power 4 conferences in. Then you got the at-large that we all think that's Boise State. And then 5 through, that would be, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 5. And then 6 through 12 would be the rankings. So SMU was certainly there.
They're at 50%. They're at 40% chance of making in the bracket. So they got a high percentage with their remaining schedule. It looks pretty promising.
Yeah, I mean, you've been high on SMU, in Arizona turned out to be whatever, but SMU, you've been very high on them, and rightly so. I watched the game, and it looked like Pittsburgh had finally arrived at and go, okay, this is who we really are.
Yeah.
It was just hard for them to do anything. SMU just seemed to be on all levels a much better team. Um,
Little.
so, but,
No,
you know,
better. They just smoke showed them. And you know
yeah,
what? Coach, he should have pulled that quarterback. And Nate, number 19 for Pitt, he has been in the portal. He's an Austin boy from Texas up at Pitt, and he should have been in. He went down and scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but he only had like 5 minutes to do it in. So I think should have been a quarterback change earlier because they had him all day. They knew what he was
yeah.
doing.
Well, there's another one that I want to talk about quarterback team. So, with that said, we were at 2-2,
Yeah.
and then the game that clinched everything was the Ohio State Buckeyes going into Penn State. So let me give you let me prep you here a little bit. Over 111,000 fans broke the record. Okay. I don't know if you watched the game, but I watched it, of course.
Not at all.
We started off really bad. So they go down first possession, they kick a field goal. Our first possession on third down, it's a pick six.
Mm.
And they're up 10-0. The place is going bananas. Okay.
Yeah.
And I had a couple buddies of mine, and I texted him. I said, we better dig in. It's going to be a long day. So we go down. We score twice very quickly. A couple of big plays in the game. Number one, Will Howard going into the end zone, literally a touchdown. The guy hits the ball. It goes off the side, goes in the back of the end zone. Penn State on the 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it was when he kind of caught it and then pulled it out of his hands on the defensive back, and he made that turnover.
No. This is Will Howard was the quarterback for Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
He was going in for a touchdown to make it 21-10, and the guy hit the ball, and it went off the side, and it bounced into the end zone. So now it's 14-10, Penn State's fault. Okay.
Got it.
So around what was happening is I think we were up 17-10. 14-10. Penn State is driving the ball. Okay, they're going to score.
Yeah.
They do a little flare out, and the guy, it goes off of the shoulder pads. Our quarterback grabs it, 1 foot in bounds, negates the touchdown. So no touchdown.
Right.
The other big play is our defense, our offensive line and our defensive line showed up. They were down first and goal on the 3, and they did not score.
James, let's be honest. Second half was a snooze fest. They scored a total of 9 points between two teams. This was the most
defense, Greg.
Totally boring.
Defense, bro.
I'd be sleeping.
No, you know what? You'd be sleeping because we would come up.
I mean, I have better things to do than watch nobody. All right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good game.
It's two great teams. What would you rather watch in baseball, like two pitchers have a duel?
Yeah.
Or not? Would you rather have it like listen, bro, the only thing I got to tell you is this.
Ohio State.
Watch out.
You're not.
If we're playing you guys, we're going to go down like we did before. You and I together. You're going to wear the fucking shirt again. And you're going to wear, not inside out, you're going to wear it. And mark my words, bro. It's on the cards. You and I are going back.
If you and I match up, there will be a bet, okay? And you will be, we're going to lose that freaking victory bell. That's what we're going to do.
Reality was this.
You're going to start
there
this.
Was some big plays.
Because we're coming up to Columbus. Hey, let's move on to some other games because I know
there was some big plays, real quick. There were some big plays that thing. Now, let me talk to you real quick, very quick. And I want to talk to you about James Franklin. And a lot of people are like, whatever. So here's my thought. I want to get your thought. James Franklin is in the perfect position. Okay? You don't want to know why?
Yeah.
If he was at Texas, if he was at Ohio State, Alabama, whatever, they would have already kicked him out. He's 1 of 12 in the last, I'll get the stat, but he has not beat the top 5 team. He's lost 8 in a row against Ohio State. Okay, let me tell you why he's he is perfect where he is because Penn State, for some reason, wants they want to be complacent. It's okay as long as he wins 10 games a year and he loses Ohio State, Michigan. They're happy.
Yeah.
They're happy in Happy Valley.
They
So
got to
there
win.
you go.
Yeah, you know what? James not going anywhere. You don't want him to go anywhere because y'all keep beating him every year. So you guys are happy regardless. You don't. They can bring any coach in there, and until they beat you, like Michigan did that one year, they ain't changing coach. You know.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean that was my viewpoint about where Penn State is as far as the upper echelon teams. I believe he's exactly where he needs to be. I really don't think that they're requiring him to
yeah,
win a national championship. As long as he goes to a bowl every year,
yeah,
I think they're happy.
yeah. Stakes got to go up. So let's touch on like Oregon and Michigan. I mean, that was a kind of a blowout. I mean, Dylan Gabriel almost 300 yards. I mean, top
Bro,
team. They look like a top team. They're playing like a top team. I mean, they're scoring 28 points in the first half and holding Michigan. Not that Michigan is the team that we saw win the national championship last.
listen, I watched the game. I was back and forth. They are for real.
Yeah,
And my only thought was I thought Michigan would have put up a little bit more of a fight because defensively, they're supposed to be, I guess the cornerback's out for the season, whatever. Maybe they had some injuries, but the only thing that I thought would have kept them in the game was their defense.
yeah.
And I mean,
They
Dylan
suck.
Gabriel, he threw it, ran it.
Running the second unit, in the second half. But I mean, they definitely played much better defense. But it's nice to go into the big house and beat them just like Texas did. This is the big game that you always count on every year when you play Michigan, which you're going to have in a few weeks. So, are you playing at home or away?
We're at home, thank God.
Oh,
So
Michigan! Yeah, this is going to be a sweet victory.
here's the one thing that I want to discuss with you. There's 3 games that really surprised me. And I'm going to go first because, Iowa State's been my team all year.
Oh boy,
Texas Tech.
on the road!
Dude,
It must have been the new uniform.
I don't know what it was. It was the weather. It was raining a little bit. But, well, hey, that's football weather.
Yeah,
And
that was
Iowa
a good.
State had an opportunity. I mean, Iowa State went up. Texas Tech just went down the field with, I don't know, under a minute left, and they scored. I'm like, I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
And when Iowa State scored, the guy caught it, and he did a little move like I do to you all the time, break your ankles,
you just
and
you
ran
do.
it like 35 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, you're on your freaking walker when you play me. All
Yeah,
right,
bro, bro.
ball and chain, and then a
Not
walker.
even talk about. Let's not even talk about everything.
Well,
Golf,
the credit
ping
is to
pong.
Texas Tech
Come
went
on.
up to Ohio State. Man, you can never, Texas Tech is not the high-powered offense they once were, but they still play ball. And every year, it's one of those like, man, never count them out. And here you go, they showed up. So for all those in Texas that that are Raider fans, I apologize. Guns up, baby. They are blazing this week. So
Dude, they look good.
yeah,
Here's one thing I got in social media. It says Auburn tickets are so cheap that you could be on the sideline next to the coach and call a couple plays for $25.
that hurts. That is just wrong.
And Auburn got beat by Vanderbilt.
Dude, Vanderbilt has been unbelievable this year. They are competing. I mean, they did play Auburn. That quarter Pavia, he's good, man. I mean, he's a baller. I don't know if he's going to get to the next level. He could be playing some Canadian football. But, we have seen, who was it, Doug Flutie? Another size back like that. So anything is possible. I mean, Tony Romo wasn't the tallest guy in the locker room.
So here's another one that I think that Louisville beat
Big
Clemson, and I think that you and I were both kind of saying Louisville looks great, whatever. They're kind of up and down.
Yeah,
But man, that was a big loss for Clemson.
huge. I mean, they were struggling to get back in the game, but I mean, they didn't even get any points on until the fourth quarter. I mean, after the first half. Yeah, this was just miserable. Louisville, you've been kind of a big Louisville jump on their bandwagon.
Yeah,
You
I
know, I saw them play. I wasn't impressed, but man,
they can
they
score some points.
Clemson and in their house and just said, we're the dog today. We are gonna kick the crap out of you. And they did. This was not to the level of play that we're used to seeing Clemson how they've been playing at least the last 6 games since they lost to Georgia in the beginning of the year. So, I mean, this was not what they needed because SMU is the dog of ACC right now. SMU is 8-1 moving forward. You got Pittsburgh now 8-1, 7-1, 8-1. Clemson, and now you got Miami. So it's down to Miami SMU going.
Yeah, I still think there's a lot of football to be played, a lot of carnage going to happen in the ACC. I picked Clemson to win the ACC. I still believe that there's a chance for them if they win out. Here's one that is really, and I watched most of the game, boggled my mind. You had Texas A&M, who I thought, and you thought too, was going to go in and win, and they lost 44-20.
Yeah.
This is my point to you, is when they do a quarterback change, which they did, and last week the guy went down, scored 3 touchdowns. I mean, what happens is then if the new guy comes in and he's not doing well, I mean, is he looking over his shoulder? I mean, Marcel Reed, he threw for 200 yards at 1 TD and 1 interception.
Yeah.
I think that it just goes, well, if I'm not doing well, then they're going to pull me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they went with Reed. I think they saw something in the week before in a big game, and
he scored like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, in a short period of time. I guess the number 1 quarterback still on the bench with injury. I don't know, but the fact
he got injured, he just got replaced.
He got benched.
Yeah.
Listen, Sellers ran for 106 yards. He threw for 244 yards. I mean, he had a day. They ran that ball up and down, beating a top 10 team, A&M. So they traveled to South Carolina, down in Columbia, and they got smoked. And those Gamecocks, you can never count them out. And I told you, I'm like, this quarterback, I mean, it's just one of those things. He's like 6'6", huge. Yeah, hard to bring him down when he's running. But they just dominate all game. I mean, they shut them. It was half. I mean, I think it's a little too late for South Carolina. I mean, honestly, let's just not, A&M.
Yeah, I mean, they're 5-3.
Now,
it's unfortunate. They will go to a bowl game.
They need a lot of help to get any further. I don't need. I don't think they're going to make the bubble.
No, they're 5-3. They're done.
No, A&M did 7-2.
Oh, A&M. Well, we always said if you have a 2 loss and they went out, look, everyone's going to be nipping at nipping your ankles there, especially with 2 losses. Meaning, if you lose 2, you still have the opportunity to make it in, depending on what's happening in the front. How many 1-loss teams we have potentially? Maybe I think there's only
you're losing a team that you're not predicted to lose to. South Carolina was not supposed to win that game.
No.
By what their record shows, by who they played and who they lost to.
You and I picked A&M. You and I picked A&M.
And we both wet the bed on that one.
Yeah, we did. And you know what? There was Iowa State. We both chose Iowa State. The last one we're going to touch on before we jump into the top 10 and get into next week is was the game was close. Florida and Georgia. Florida scored late, 2 touchdowns, but it was not easy.
let's put it this way. I think they kept it interesting, and it's almost like Ohio State against Penn State. They're higher ranked teams, but Florida has been dog crap all season. Every team they played, and they were dominating Georgia in the first half. Dominating. Then
But they
got their head out of their butts, and Yuga must have said something or barked at him or nipped him at the ankles there. I know. Hey, you know who was probably Susan Walters was not happy in the first half. We
I
should have
text
been
her.
on the phone.
I text her.
Yeah.
She said she was freaking.
Yeah, as every other dog in the country that's cheering for them. I mean, it was.
So listen, Greg, why don't we tell people we're here? It's Greg and James. We're College Football Trash Talk. Greg, where can they find it?
Listen, you can find us on the IG at CFB_TT College Football Talking Trash, and also at YouTube, College Football Trash Talk with James Hyde and myself, Greg Vaughn here. So please join us, subscribe. We love your support. We got a lot of people who've been chiming in this week, and a lot of them have been saying they're going to send me a cowbell, and I can't wait.
Yeah, so
is getting really old, and I think people are tired of listening to it. So especially my kids.
So W4N said, Greg, where do you want the cowbell sent? Well, you shouldn't send it because he's not going to need it. How about that?
Yeah.
So, and then Doug, my friend Doug, who I've known, Doug was in the Navy, I was in the Army years ago in Hawaii. He's a big Oregon fan. And he told me, Doug Zedek at 2358, Doug Zedek, no one cares about the victory bell. You know what? They don't care because I'm the only one ringing it. So I do care about it. And you know what? Just for that, you're going to get one. How about that for you?
On that bell.
So listen, guys, we love everything that you say. Your comments are great. If you want to, any show that you have and you disagree with what we're saying, please let us know. Any comments, any teams that you want us to highlight, because, you know, usually we touch in the top 25, but if there's anybody out there that you would like us to go, hey, we gotta watch this. We gotta watch this team. But we know that that this is fun for us. We have a blast, and I love kicking Greg's ass.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay. So we're gonna have we've had the season stats, and you're doing great. Congratulations. Second of all, I think we should, after when the playoff bracket begins, how that's gonna filter out. So
Greg, listen, bro. If you want to just change up so that you might win something out of this, hey, I want to do the playoff. I want to do this. Bro, let's do it, because
what I want to ask you,
you might win something
between Indiana, who will be coming to your house very soon. I want to know what you're feeling about that. You got to be scared.
Well, let me just give a score update real quick. James is 28, Greg 16.
Yeah.
And
don't forget, for all those that watch, if you pick a lot of, wild, I take the chance. It's a risk. I do.
Take a chance. Duke in Miami, that was a good pick. But hey, Jimmy agree.
What? I've seen it.
Ohio State, Penn State, I'll never forgive you for that. I'll never forgive you for that. You chose Penn State.
They were going to Happy Valley. I can't pick James Franklin. I should have seen the stat record beforehand that he was like 0-18 or something. I mean, you just think
in the last 10 years they've won once. I think it was 2016 where we lined up for a field goal very quickly and they blocked it, ran it back for a touchdown. They finally won one. All right, so let's get into next week, week 12, and let's jump into this first game because I think it's interesting, because Florida is traveling to Texas. We've got a 9 a.m. game.
Indeed.
And, Florida, they showed me something. They really did. Because Georgia didn't pull away until the end. It was a tough fought game.
Yeah.
And if the Florida quarterback, I mean, this guy, I don't know what his name, but number 33 jumped up. I've never seen someone jump that high from Georgia. I mean, what an athlete. Got the interception, kind of ended the game, but telling you, it was close. So, Florida, Texas, well, I don't even need to know who you got.
Of course, I'm Texas all the way. I think there's going to be a lot of changes for Quinn. He needs to get a lot more, his confidence back. I don't know what it is, his mindset, but he's an incredible quarterback. He's definitely not shown it to the audience this year so far. I mean, with injuries and stuff like that. But O-line's got to get much better. They got to give Quinn the better. I think we've had a lot with, and that's what we're playing through the injuries. You touch on that a lot, so it's next man up mentality. And we do have a great backup quarterback if anything were to happen to Quinn, but it's his senior year or his junior year, but, could be his final year with Texas. So I want him to go out on a high note. He went to the Final Four last year. So I definitely think they're going to have their heads right this week. They've had an idle week this week to get ready, prepare more. And so moving forward, I think we're going to see a whole new team. And I think that's going to be there.
So my pick is Texas, and I'll tell you why. Florida just had a battle. I mean, it was bang them out, and there's got to be some injuries from that because Georgia is they play super aggressive. Texas had a week off, rest up, get all little injuries ready.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be well oiled. They're playing at home, and I believe that they are going to roll. I think it's going to be big. I got my next game. I got Miami, Florida, traveling to Georgia Tech. This could be something.
This could, and we saw them earlier in the year when they went abroad, and we were toasting, and having some nice
Cerveza.
Cervezas. Thank you. That Spanish of mine is not working quite. Time. But anyway, yeah, Miami and Georgia, and I went against Miami last weekend thinking Duke might show up, and with Georgia Tech, the way they've been playing is not at what I expected after that opening game of the year. So they still have a lot of components that are good, but now seeing Miami and the way they play in the second half, I'll have to go with Miami. And not that I really want to, because this could be a coin toss. Miami.
Boom, smack you in the face. Another victory I'm going to take from you. I got Georgia Tech playing at home.
You're going to go different?
Yep, I'm going Georgia Tech because I believe that Miami played last week, and I think there could be a week where there's some injuries happening. It could be an off week for them. I got Georgia Tech coming in. They still have, a great season. They've got a bowl game to play for, a lot to play for. I'm going Georgia Tech for the upset.
Man, I'm going to get it done. Finally, I like that one.
All right.
I mean, let's see. Who else we got? What's the other?
We got Georgia is traveling to Ole Miss. Who you got?
Georgia and Ole Miss, man.
12:30, and they're traveling to Ole Miss.
Wow, this is good. And they're traveling to Ole Miss, and you're going to be in Oxford, and they got the dog. So I'm having a problem locating that game. Where is the game? I'm looking on my stats. So go ahead and tell us about your pick while I'm looking at my stuff.
Well, I want to say a couple things here. Carson Beck has been horrendous. I mean, sometimes I believe that, Stevie Wonder could probably throw balls better than him. I mean, he threw 3 interceptions. He's not looking good. I'm telling you, he's not looking good at all. And they're going into Ole Miss. Ole Miss is hot. They're hot. I'm going Ole Miss.
You're going Ole Miss because that's my team. I've been rooting for Ole Miss all week, all the time. So, yeah. I mean, look, I know the Dogs, after playing the way they did, they're going to recharge like they did before they had an idol coming in down to Austin. I love the Rebels. I think Jackson Dart, that whole defense, they're going to be fired up. And George always knows, win or lose, they always throw a good party, but there's no way they're coming into Ole Miss and Oxford and going to go home with an L. So I'm going to take the dog. I'm taking the Dogs because this is the thing. They got a little bit embarrassed. They expect a shellacking. And with Georgia, this could change the whole bubble for Texas. I mean, so yes, I need Ole Miss to beat Georgia. That would be very beneficial to me. But as much as I love Ole Miss, they are favored. And Georgia.
Yeah, nice, bro. Way to stick to your team.
But I'm going to flip it. I'm going to go UGA because they were a very nice guest. They gave us the VIP world treatment. And
You're going Georgia, right?
I'm going for the dogs.
Yeah. How the nice, bro. Nicest day was your team.
Yeah.
I know you, bro. You'd be the first one out of the boat. Starts taking. You'd be on
Ooh.
that. So I got one for you. Michigan is going to Indiana at 12:30 game. Michigan traveling to Indiana. Who do you got?
Oh, man. Not big a Michigan fan as Texas went up there and beat them. And Indiana, the way they're playing with the quarterback Rourke, I got to go Indy. I just think they are a full team. They are top to bottom, offense, defense. They run it, they throw it. There's nothing they can't do. They stop it. They are competitive. They're jumping. And they're in this. I think it's going to come down to Oregon. You're going to be sitting on the outside the way OSU's been playing. I think it's going to come.
Outside of what?
You're going to be sitting on the outside looking in.
Are you joking? You're
Yeah.
watching college football?
Indiana, they're
right
for real.
there, bro.
Boy, Drew, I called him Drew Proud. I said, bro, if you weren't working, we'd be talking to Mr. Hyde right now.
Hey,
Again.
you're ranked third. You're ranked 5. Hello?
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. Let me get my rearview mirror here real quick.
Man.
Oh, there's Greg.
Going into Thanksgiving.
Hey, Greg. How you doing?
Let me tell all these fans, going into Thanksgiving after getting beat up by Indiana is going to be a sad day for you for Thanksgiving.
Okay, so you know I'm going to Indiana. You know why? One reason why is because I hate Michigan. Number 2 is I want Indiana to come in undefeated. I want them to be undefeated. I want them to come in and have this high level of whatever they're doing. They're going to get shellacked, my friend. Not shellacking like you get all the time.
Yeah. Well, everything's about to change.
So I'm going Indiana. I know we're going Indiana.
Yeah.
So this is a really cool game. I got one for it, and then I got 2 more. But this one's done. South Carolina is going into Vanderbilt.
Wow. They're going into
Right?
I like where Vandy's playing, but man, you know what? I think coming off a good win, I think they gave everything they got against A&M. I think they're going to be deflated. I don't think they're going to show up. I definitely am going Vanderbilt. I like the Commodores. I like the quarterback. I think they play big for big games. They play at the level. They have something to prove this year. They got a chip on their shoulder, and I know they're going to play. They have not disappointed any week in every big game. They show up, and I'm sticking with the Vanderbilt.
How about this? Look at me. Look at me. Matt, get out of here. South Carolina. Did you see the stadium when they won? It looked like they won the national championship.
They did what they do. They're supposed to do. Did they carry a goalpost down to the river? Come on.
And then let me tell you something. That is going to carry over to South Carolina. Is going to win to Vanderbilt. They're going to win. They're going to win by 10 points or more.
You're trying to make friends in South Carolina, but you know what? It ain't going to happen. Not on this watch. Vanderbilt at home. They may be carrying another goalpost and paying a fine towards South Carolina.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if that's goalpost worthy, but you know, whatever. Okay. So let's go one more, and this is a good one. This is a good one. I got Colorado.
Oh, I'm looking at it right
Texas
there.
Tech.
At Texas Tech?
Yes.
Wow. You want to go first? You go first.
Okay. So here's my thinking, and I think that Texas Tech is a good team. I just don't know if they're going to be able to contain Colorado. So with that said, I think that Colorado is playing well right now. Texas Tech came off to a squeaker, got a 1-point victory out of there. Big win for them. I'm going Colorado for the win.
Man, look at me. Look at me. Smack. You're getting it back, boy, because Texas Tech, I'm not going against the Raiders. You are playing in Lubbock. This is big game opportunity. You know who they got? Patrick Mahomes jerseys, baby. They got the juice. Colorado, Dion coming back to Texas, going to get some Texas whoop ass by a big old Raider. And I like where they're at. I think that was a huge win for the program. It just gave them confidence in where they should be all season. And I got lectured about going against them. So I ain't going there this week. I believe in the Red Raiders. And I think they're going to shut Shadori down. I think, hey, he is the leader on that. And Travis Hunter. I mean, they have a 1-2 punch, incredible athletes. But I just think with Texas Tech, they're going to run, and on a big game, that coach is going to get them fired up. And like you said, this could be a game of the week.
Yeah, I really think that Texas Tech they played really well. Again, I was watching a lot of games back and forth. They really showed me something. That when Iowa State went in and scored a touchdown, because the weather started raining, I thought this is it. They marched the ball down the field and they scored. It was really impressive. Big win for them.
Yeah.
But I think Colorado's just got there's just too much going on. Great QB, all of the skilled players around them, I think is going to be the difference. All right. So we call this the game of the week. There's a lot on the line here with this game. Let me just give you the intro. I got Alabama, the Crimson Tide, going into LSU. It's a 4:30 game. Wow, this has got a lot of look, we all know this. If Alabama or LSU loses, they're out. Yeah. They're out. There's no way that you're going to be able to come in limping with 3 losses. So, with that said, I'm going to go Alabama. I'm going Alabama.
You're going Bama.
Yeah.
I think that come into
the quarterback will be the difference. Milroe will be the difference.
Yeah.
So I got Alabama.
Okay. Well, you're about to get chewed up, spit out by a tiger, because I'm going LSU this week. I know what it's like down there, and I know how they play in big elements. And so this is the end-all, be-all. Newsmeyer had a bad week. He's going to put that aside. They're going to retool. They're going to come in. That defense is going to be charged up. And this is a battle of the SEC and for the playoffs. Because anybody, like you said, if they lose, they're out. I mean, LSU's on the bubble. Bama's got a better shot than LSU. But the fact of the matter is, LSU, you don't come into their house in that crowd. They're going to eat them up. I was trying to get down there for that game, but, man, it's just going to be ridiculously stupid. LSU, they got Bama, Florida, and then they got OU. This is a must-win-out game for them. Bama, LSU, OU, and Auburn. This is it. Make or break. Bama has got 56% chance of going into the bubble. LSU's 22. So, I mean, the underdog at home, I'm definitely going to LSU. I like that. I think there's some...
What's the spread on that?
The payoff on that one. Alabama, 2.5. Wow. Giving it 2.5 and over 58.5. So, listen, I think this is going to be a lighted up. I think we're going to see very much like South Carolina played A&M. They're going to have everything prepared. Everybody knows what this means. I think
that, like I said, I think we call this game of the week. It clearly is the game of the week. I think it's going to boil down to both quarterbacks and how they play. I just think that Alabama as a whole I think that everybody on that team is going to realize we're Alabama. We've lost 2 games before November. Yeah. That doesn't happen in Western. It's a gut check for everybody.
Yeah.
I just believe that it's going to be maybe close to the first half.
Yeah.
And again, we're going to talk about that maybe, next week, because turnovers is going to be key. And so whoever has the most turnovers, I mean,
it's going to come down.
I think.
Kicking. I mean, I've seen LSU kicker, and he can kick a long ball. So not that Bama can't, but I just believe at home I got the advantage on you. But hey, we got 7 games, but 5 were going against one another. So Miami,
yeah, baby.
UGA will miss. Indiana, Michigan, we agreed with. Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Colorado, Texas Tech, Bama, and LSU. So, hey, I may be hearing a victory bell. You're going to hear a cowbell this week. That's what I'm going to be
great.
ready for you. I'm going to smack you down this week, which I'm excited about. But I do want to touch a little bit on the bracket.
Okay.
A lot going on with the bracket.
Go ahead.
So, I mean, we're down. We know who the top 12 by all means are. And then now with SMU just having a huge win over Pittsburgh, and they got BC, Virginia, and Cal coming to town. So, I mean, they got good one. Ole Miss. This is a must win for Ole Miss against Georgia.
Yeah.
If they don't, they're gone. If
Gone.
LSU loses, they're gone. You got two teams going against. So you got the Ole Miss and you got LSU, Bama. Huge. And then you got Texas playing Florida. If Texas does not show up and they don't just destroy them, I don't know. I mean, I think Texas may slide a little bit. I think they'll still.
I mean, look, one thing is Texas had a bye week. Sometimes
they're going to regroup. Get you groove them out. I think they're just going to just annihilate them. But but anyway, Iowa State, man, they need some help. They're. I mean, for a one-loss team,
Yeah, that really. I mean, Clemson and Iowa State really put a and A&M.
Yeah.
Those are three teams that really kind of
They need
are
a lot of help.
yeah.
But man, and then Army. Army's undefeated. That's going to be a Florida State moment. Like last year, they're going to be possibly undefeated.
I mean, think they're going to have issues because I think their quarterback is injured, unfortunately. So
sorry to hear that, but I mean, for such an incredible year. But man, great games, a lot of impact. Texas, Tennessee, they got Mississippi State. I think they're going to blow that one out. And then Georgia, Vanderbilt. And they're on the road. So Tennessee in their last final two games, I mean, they're got a lot at stake. This is like they need some help, even though they're in the top, like, six? So, but they're seven. So, and then BYU undefeated. They got Utah, Kansas, and ASU. And we know what ASU can do. They can win. So you can't count them out. So a lot of this, the ladder is going to change, high and low. It's going to move. So big games. Excited because I'm going to get the cowbell and we're going to be banging that.
Greg, you're not going to be ringing a cowbell, bro, because you're not.
That's what we're going to do. Because people are tired of hearing your stupid little.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They love to hear. They love to hear this bell. Because you know what?
Guy,
this is called the victory bell.
Grandmother, like you're your Columbus journeyman. You know what? It's hard for me. I state of Texas, and when I pull up in a parking lot and I see a Buckeye plate, I go to DFW, a Buckeye plate. I'm like, and then I drive down the neighborhood. There's a flag. I'm like, I'm gonna rip it down. Ripping it down. And
that's us, baby.
All season have just barely win. You don't win by domination. You're not doing what Oregon's doing. You're not doing a lot of the things.
Wait a second.
That's that.
Do you get a W if you win by 1 or 20? I don't know. What is it?
You get a W. Don't get me wrong. You do get a W, but man, when you're supposed to be the number one dog team in the country, you're not. I mean, you gotta,
we played two.
What he's supposed to be doing.
3 teams. We played 2. We lost by 1 point to Oregon. We should have won the game. So all we had to do was slide. We would have kicked the field goal 1. Okay? And we were going to beat at Penn State.
Yeah. Are you
on the road?
In championship game? I don't know. Not the way Indiana's playing.
Exactly what I said. Bring Indiana. Undefeated. Please. Because we are going to give them a shot.
Hey, I think, you know what? If you come with Indiana Thanksgiving and lose, are you playing at home against Indiana? Because I just want to, I mean,
we are.
Well, God, that's going to be so bad for you.
I mean, we're going to have 112,000 people and screaming, "Let's go Buckeyes." We're going to smash it.
Watching you drink a lot of tequila.
Oh, yeah. That too.
All you guys together. We're going to drink some Texas cerveza and watch you suck down some tequila. That's good. We'll call Kip, too, get him on the line. I know he likes that because we watched that happen last year.
The only thing that we can do is hope that, that Texas and Ohio State are on a collision course. That would be our dream.
You think it'd be at a neutral site?
Well, it would be whatever the next step would be
Travel.
because 6 through 12, no, 6, 7, 8, 9, they would home games.
Okay.
So and then 10, 11, wait, 5, 6, 7, 8 would have home games, and then
Oh, yeah.
9, 10, 11, 12
Good
they
move.
would be playing
Good
that.
move.
But I like that they get the home field advantage. I love that. It's the first time it's ever happened in college football.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. That's been a great show, buddy. I think we covered a lot of stuff.
Yes, we have.
We got a lot of tough schedule coming up. Not unlike LSU, because the Buckeyes got Purdue Northwestern. Really? This is like Northern Illinois. Friend, who you guys like put in your schedule? It's so crazy to me. And then you barely beat Penn State. Indiana and Michigan. I mean, bro, come on now. Y'all like just get in because you're Ohio State. That's it. But
well, we got to remember that the national champion still is that team up north. So we got to remember that. So they're still the national champions, and you know what? Still a rivalry game. We
Yes.
need to win that. You guys won yours.
yeah,
I want to beat Michigan by 50 points. That's what I want.
of course you do.
Yeah.
I might have to take Michigan on that game.
Oh, bro, I hope you do. I hope you do. Because there'd be another notch in my scoreboard over here.
It's gonna be fun, bro.
All right, man.
love
Well,
that.
listen, great.
Stuff to do.
Thank you very much, brother. Good seeing you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Again, you can catch us on College Football Trash Talk on YouTube. Greg, where else can they get us?
And Instagram, X, you can get on TikTok. I mean, we're making it all happen. We're making magic happen, and we're glad to have you on for the ride. And we look forward to making great things happen. So we're talking trash. Today was a good week. Tomorrow's going to be better. And then this week, when I get my cowbell, I'm going to go down to the Sportwear Stockyards. I'm going to get a big one. And then I'm going to put some Longhorns right up there. And then you're going to start seeing, get the chant, because we're going into the bracket, baby.
The only person who's talking trash here is me. And you're taking it. That's the only thing you're doing. I'm giving it, you're taking it. And it's been every week. So let's see what happens with your pick next week, and see if you can ring that stupid cowbell.
It's so hot, I got to eat some ice cream my son just gave me.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Greg, good seeing you. Anthony,
It was a pleasure.
great job, man.
Be
Good luck.
good. Be good.
Yeah.